Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Michelle Azugwu and Reverend Jeannie Sobrins. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time. And rebroadcast on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Oh, well, here we are. Do we have our microphones on?
Are we on? I believe we are.
So, my mic is green. Oh,
There you
attention,
go.
rock, good job.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Wow.
We're not going to do it.
We're not going to do it today yet.
Yeah.
Even though Barb's here, she says it bothers her.
We don't want it to
So
bother.
we don't want it to bother anybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome.
Can you hear the people here? If you're not
Oh,
here in
yeah.
person, I'm sorry for you. We have so many wonderful people here.
Right? And we still have
We
people
have
coming.
We still have room.
We still have room.
I know. We'd love to see everyone in person.
You know, I was thinking about our sweet friend there, Marcy. She hasn't been here in a couple of. I was going to.
We're calling out Marcy.
Yeah, I'm calling out Marcy today, but I want to tell you that the
Marcy.
call out last week for Casey worked because she's in the house today.
Oh, I remember that now. Yes.
But wait a minute, who's my new call out?
Let me
Wait a
tell
minute.
you, Judy will call you out.
I will call you out if you tell me you're coming to church. Well, no, wait a minute. I like.
Okay, ladies.
Hold on. We have lost control.
We've lost control of our own church.
We are loud today.
You guys are loud today.
They're
Remember?
so excited.
They are so
This is the
excited.
energy we want. Though.
That's
That's what
right.
we're trying to create.
Exactly. But if you think you're being quiet, you're not. I'm just telling you. And so
she's
Casey
calling out.
is
She
here
wants to make sure
today,
everybody can hear
but
the
I
call.
want to make sure that Kat and Amy and Crystal know that we're still waiting. We're still
We're
waiting.
gonna have seats for you.
We have seats for you
We
here.
do, and I love all these smiley faces.
Right?
No.
This is amazing. So where are we at, my dear?
We are at the home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington's practice. We're at the Unleash Your Life studios here in Glendale, Arizona. Really.
No, we're in
We're in
Phoenix.
Phoenix. It's still Phoenix.
This
It's
is still
off of
Phoenix.
Glendale.
It's off
South
of Glendale and
There
North.
you
Yeah,
go.
we're in the
There you
we're on
go.
the east
I just
side.
wanted
We're
to
the
make sure you were paying
51.
attention.
You
Our-
found your way here today. So.
Right. So our address is 7220 North 16th Street. We are in building A1, which is not a steak sauce.
Oh, there's
Just saying,
clarifying. She's
That's
got
my
to clarify.
pun of the day. You will know
Only
that.
what?
No,
Sorry, just
probably not. You will know that by the beautiful girls on the door that now no longer look like us. However, we have been prideized. So thank you. I just want to give a shout out to Jacob Kleinman Phillips, who from Touchpoint Design, who prideized our logo for us and made a donation also to a gay positive organization. Thank you.
Charity
Words.
organization.
Yeah.
That's-
In for us in the amount that we did this for.
Oh,
So
that's
thank
nice.
you. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome.
We
you
still
know,
love our girls, though.
we
them.
love our girls.
We love them.
We're
They
gonna
got,
see.
they got it all started. That's why we have a red sofa.
That's right. That's
They
right.
did. We were like, I don't know what our colors are. I don't know what.
Yeah.
We found them. We're like, that looks like us.
Right.
On a red sofa. Done.
So now we're gonna have to see if Jake can make another brown-haired girl.
I know, because I think I'm going to keep this.
So either that or I dye my hair red and he switches us.
What do you think?
So okay, yeah, that's the poll. Okay. Do we have Jake make another brown-haired girl, or does Jeannie dye her hair red? So if you're listening, please type in and let us know.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I think I'm gonna pray us in
Oh,
today.
you're in the mood.
I'm in the mood for prayer. I'm in the mood for prayer. Simply because you're here.
Oh, very good.
This is coffee number 2, and I have cold medication in me.
Oh my gosh. I think it's because Dakota's said she'd dye her hair red too.
Yes,
So-
Dakota did. Yes, and now it's online,
And
so
I said,
it's
"You're
forever.
welcome." I said, "You're welcome, and your partner's gonna be a redhead soon." I said, "You're welcome."
There you
Okay,
go.
here we go.
Fire.
A fire.
Hmm. So just breathing in that vibration, that energy, both of the bowl and of the laughter and the fun that is the divine, that is God in form, that is us. Knowing and affirming that this divine presence moves, breathes, and has its being through each and every one of us, through each and everything in this room, animate and inanimate, knowing that the divine is all there is. I speak my word for the highest and best good, knowing that this time together is blessed, is absolutely joy-filled and peace-filled. I know and bless leaders and teachers of all faiths everywhere, knowing that there is peace, that there is only peace, that if we can believe that there is peace, then we know that there is peace, that this peace surpasses all understanding in each and every one of us and everywhere. And for this, I am so very grateful. I release my word, knowing that it is good, knowing that it is done. And together we say, and so it is.
Amen, sister.
Amen. I know, I was getting a little fired up there.
Oh, good. You're
Ah.
I think it's a very fired up day.
It's a fired up day because we're in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, it is hot.
Oh, so I saw this great meme on Facebook today. It said new blankets for Phoenix, and it's a girl laying under ice cubes.
Oh, yes.
Like that's the new
I
comforter.
know. As soon as you said blankets, my
Right.
whole body was like,
Right, comforter of ice or
Yeah.
jewelry made of ice.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So
Jewelry made of ice.
there you go. And it's renewable. You can sell it
Oh,
again and
Amy's
again
got
and
an
again.
idea. That was
Yeah.
good, Amy.
Amy's going to be creating that for
I know.
us.
Did you notice that True Davis is, well, we know he's in the house, but you notice that he doesn't have his phone up. He's like listening.
I know. So
This
again,
this is how we've evolved. Like teenagers want to listen. I feel very
I've
happy
said that
about
he's my favorite
Oh.
from the get-go. Don't tell the girl child, but
or the other boy child.
or the other boy child. But True, and those that have been around when True was our tech knows that True participates.
He does.
is very much a part
He
of.
does.
and I
that's
love that.
amazing. I know.
Yeah.
And I like, he's very intellectual, so he
Yes.
likes this kind of conversation and to be involved, you know, and he has his own thoughts about things.
Yes, he does.
He does have his own opinion,
And
his own
he's
thoughts, and
not
he's
a
not afraid to
say
say
it.
and
Yeah, I
to
was gonna
explore
say.
it, which I appreciate.
Even when
He's
it
also an entrepreneur.
And he is an entrepreneur.
and
Yes,
available for
yes.
hire.
He's gonna have his own business before he goes back to school.
Right.
There you
right.
go.
And I love it. He'll come to us and be like, "Yeah, I've got an idea for how your, this is going, or how this is." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, love it." Takes his job very seriously.
Reverend Missy's on. She said it gives a new meaning to the word chill out. Reverend Missy, we need you on here. We
Yeah,
need
she's
you to
gonna-
come
You need to come visit
to
us, so,
Arizona.
yeah.
Yeah. So I have a reading. I know you're all
We
shocked
might as
and
well.
amazed
And I know you need us to get grounded and get into this.
and get
I
into
feel
this. Like,
energy.
yeah.
I
You're
love
not-
that energy.
you didn't come to just hear me blah, 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 blah. Did you? Because that's what I do.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Where is
I
it?
think it's further back.
Is it further back?
I think so. Where do you have here? There it is. Peace. I just saw.
Ah, there we go, June 2. Abiding in Peace. This is from the affiliated New Thought Networks book, and it is on page 138 for those who like to follow
Highly
along.
recommend you all get this book.
Yes. No, and for those in the room, we have our cards that say
The topic for today.
the topic of today, no God, no peace. No God, no peace.
And we've all heard that before, right? Like that's not
new, and it says
what we're going to talk
unknown.
about today. And
So-
you don't even know who said it.
They don't even know who said it. That's how long ago it happened. Abiding in peace takes letting go of combative thoughts. Abiding in peace takes a willingness to free ourselves from negativity and feelings of doom and gloom. Abiding in peace is as simple as releasing the cares of the world and taking our attention within to the kingdom of God that renews, refreshes, and makes all things new. The consciousness of peace is available to all when we open ourselves up to it. Peace is our natural state when we recognize love is the substance and unifying element beneath, in, and through all. Peace is achieved when we reside in the love that is life-giving us. Peace is achieved when we reside in the love that is giving us life. When we bathe ourselves in its healing glow. The master teacher, Jesus the Christ, told us, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid." John 14:27, King James Version. When our hearts are free from fear, we reside in the peace that passes understanding. Give yourself the gift of abiding in this everlasting peace that God has so freely given at each and every moment. I breathe in a deep breath. Let's do that. I breathe in a deep breath, releasing all fear and condemnation and consciously going within to be renewed and refreshed in love's healing embrace. I experience true and abiding peace, and I am eternally grateful. Reverend Gay Beauregard, Religious Science, Alpine, California.
Thank you, Reverend Gay. I love that.
Thank you, Reverend Gay. She's part of Anton. She's actually our the person who handles the money.
The treasurer.
The treasurer at Anton. There we go.
Welcome, everyone.
Yes,
hello.
I just want to give a shout out. That's my best friend of 30 years back there.
Oh.
She's only 30 years old. Yeah.
Thanks for being here. So excited. I get to meet you. I'm so excited.
So glad you guys are here. And that is her partner, Russ. So it's Joyce, Russ, and Haley.
Wow.
Haley is, I was there the day she was born. So there you go.
Haley.
Welcome.
Welcome.
They came all the way from California.
Well, I can understand why. Because you're amazing.
I am amazing. So we have a few people in the house that are from a different places. Like Barb, she was so upset that we had no sound one day. She had to come from Georgia.
I know. And she's moving back.
And she's moving back because she never wants to experience not hearing us again. Could you imagine?
And I know that was all we had to do.
That's right. We'll just turn the volume off now to make the rest of you move to
Or you'll
Arizona.
all come in person. That's fine.
There you go.
Make it happen. We
So
have Faze. We have Faze. Yeah.
there we go. Krista Luke's online too. Good morning, Krista.
Krista, good morning. I love it. I love this topic of peace. I requested it because, and because also we talked last month about manifestation, and you need to be in that place of peace to truly manifest, and that's really being present, being in what's actually happening. You can't hear me? Check. Does that need to be turned up?
You need to be turned up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There you
go. Thank you. I love that. I love it. Everybody helps.
Yes.
So it's being in that present moment of what's actually happening. And we say this over and over because it all begins within. Everything that you want, everything that you don't want, everything anything you want to change or you want to have more of or you want less of or whatever, it all starts inside. Nothing's happening outside here. It's all happening inside here. And this is merely a reflection of it. And so I love the thinking of peace because it hadn't occurred to me how important it is to be in peace. Peace lets you know that you're in the present moment. When you're at peace, that's where you're at. When you're not at peace, if you're not feeling peace amongst whatever you're working on, experiencing, who you're with, whatever, you are not being present. And then you're also not attracting how you want to be attracting into your life. So it's just such a good indicator, but isn't it such a much better place to be anyway?
So I have a question. What is the opposite of peace for you? Get that microphone ready, sir. What is the opposite? When you say,
you can put it in the comments too if you're on.
Yes.
Yeah, you got you. Thank you.
So what I'm thinking is when I'm sitting and I have this happening, what is that word? Or I have this happening.
Yes.
What is that
Chaos.
word? Chaos.
Anxiety.
Anxiety, it's me, sorry. Yes, sorry,
You're
there we
linked-
go.
you're linked on
I'm linked on
stress.
it. Stress.
Stress.
So we have anxiety, chaos, stress,
Depression.
depression,
Fear.
fear, uncomfortability. Exactly.
So a lot of going forward, future thinking,
Right.
a lot of future thinking. Not so much, I'm not hearing anger or guilt or that's past thinking, but a lot of future thinking is happening when you don't feel like you're at peace, right? And
Right.
I would agree with that.
Mhm.
You know, like even just recently worrying about, you know, when I worry about financials, I'm not thinking, I'm thinking future, right? I'm like, oh, if I don't have,
What if I can't?
I can't,
Yeah.
this will have that. And it's like, stop that. That future has not happened. None of that has happened. Knock it off. Like, where are you at? What's actually happening right now? What's the move to make from this moment right here? That's like, man, that's where all your power is. You'll get tons of ideas if you can just stay there. Can Ann have?
One of the things I've said in the past is, like, I don't have a lot of rules in life, but one of them is don't operate on speculation. So when somebody is in the whole thing about, you know, what's going to happen if, you know, so if this turns out this way, it hasn't happened yet. So if you try to operate on speculation, you're operating in the ether where nothing's happening.
And will that move be right?
Exactly, it probably isn't.
Right.
But I know that if I wait for the answers, okay, so if the worst case scenario happens, I'll deal with it when it gets there.
There it is.
But
Yep.
if I spend too much time on that, I'm gonna draw that to me.
Right. Exactly. I love it. Anyone else? Anything else coming up? Yeah, it's interesting how everybody was future. It was future, future. Those emotions tell you where you're at, right? Your emotions tell you where you're at. Tell you if you're in the future thinking or if you're in the past. So very simple. It's very simple because the past is really only three things. It's you're feeling mad, sad, or bad, just like a child. I feel mad, sad, or bad. Little kid turn.
That's what Missy
Everything
says.
else is future usually.
Missy was saying about the past thinking is, what if I had? What if I had done?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then
Coulda, shoulda,
you know, the coulda, shouldas, right?
Like that,
so
yeah.
stuff that does not bring you peace. And
Yes.
the thing I was thinking about, and I read an article this morning about it, was how we take the, you know, the egoic part of us, the little I, shall we say, like, I feel anxious, you know, this part of me. But the greater self, right, the part that is all, right, doesn't feel that anxiety, doesn't feel that anxiousness. So if we can tune into that and, again, be in the present moment, deep breaths, meditation, you know, get grounded, you know, and get yourself out in the earth. We were joking around earlier about how we don't wear shoes here, but the reason for that is this really is a space that the only thing that happens here is high vibration work. It's not just us, right? We have energy circles that happen here. There's like high vibration stuff happens in this space all the time. Get yourself grounded in that. You know, get connected to that peace that is the peace that passes all understanding. What you writing over there?
Well, I'm thinking about the future thinking, talking about when you are projecting into the future, right? Like, so in the quantum field, there's infinite possibilities. Can we all agree to that? Like, you can't even exhaust them all.
Right.
There's just so many different things can happen, right? So when we are projecting, when you have somebody who prophesizes over anything, they're only prophesizing from a space of, if they stay on the course now, that's a possibility. That is, they are headed possible in that direction, right? Which could be altered at any moment. Any moment you change your mind, any moment you make a different move here or there, it changes that. So the same thing is, to my mind, when we are future thinking, so we're not in the present when we're future thinking from this horrible outcome that we're saying to ourselves, yes, that could be the outcome if you stayed this course. of thinking this way and feeling this way and moving from there, you're just going to attract it. So it would behoove us to say, oh, I don't actually like this future that I'm predicting could happen if XYZ doesn't happen right now and all this spinning around that I'm doing. So come back to where we're at and or come back and say, what's actually happening? What would I like to have happen? Then what's my move now in this moment, in a place of peace and calm? Like, okay, so I'm not comfortable here. I don't want this. This is what's actually happening, what should I be doing here?
Right.
And then let's move in a way that takes us to the future we really want to experience. But you're only going to get that answer from being present, from being in peace.
Because how many people have made decisions from anxiety, depression,
And where do you go?
yeah.
Where do
And
you go?
Have you appreciated the decision and the outcome?
Not always.
Okay then.
Because
Yeah.
it attracts that,
Occasionally.
because that aligns with that
Right.
future.
And so you said not always, Ann. So let me ask this. When it does turn out well or expected, do you feel good about it?
Yes.
So like for me, while I might feel good about something that I had all this angst about, I don't feel satisfied. I feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Anybody ever had that experience?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, so when I move from anxiety and I get an outcome, it becomes too good to be true, right? But when I move from peace and I have an outcome, of course it's perfect.
Confident there.
I am confident
Confidence.
in it. I'm confident. Of course that came about for me. Why wouldn't it?
Oh, how usual.
Oh, how usual. Exactly. So, like I said, Joyce has known me my entire life, and she would know that she would say, Jeannie's the luckiest person I know. And that would be because I did operate from that level of confidence.
Mhm.
You don't have to be science of mind, right? We all know a lot of people that are
That
rich,
have no idea what
successful,
they're
and
doing.
famous
They just
who
do it.
have no idea what they're doing.
That they're doing the thing.
Yeah,
but
but they're operating from the
somehow
present moment.
they are.
On the other hand, sometimes in my case, I look back and say, wow, I put a lot of effort into worrying about nothing. So it's a learning experience not to worry about that again. So it can be turned into a learning experience too.
Right.
This is kind of a silly example, but years ago when I weighed over 300 pounds, I was at a conference where I was afraid to sit in the chair because it looked rather rickety to me for somebody my size. And the person that was with me said they would not be having this chair at a conference if it wouldn't accommodate the entire population of people out there. Otherwise, there'd be huge liability. But I absolutely refused to sit in the chair. And she kept saying, you're thinking about the future. You're thinking about something that's not going to happen. So I had to really think about that. And I did end up sitting in the chair. It was rather uncomfortable, but it didn't break. So I've always thought about that. I think about things, I did catastrophize what might happen when it really doesn't happen. Usually, almost always it doesn't happen.
Right.
Probably 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
But
right.
it's good that you didn't create it.
Right.
No.
Because we do live in a world
We
where
love
we
to
talk
create.
about
We are
that
creators.
we're creators and stuff like that. So it's like if you believe it or you don't believe it, you're right. That's your experience.
Oh, so true. That's
Yeah.
so true. It's
So I love your friend that she,
That's
gave
great.
that support and comfort to you in a place that, that gave some reasoning behind it. There's the other thing. You're in that anxiety, you're in that depression, that space of I'm not in the present moment. Do you have a friend that you
Stop
can
it. I
call?
was just gonna say.
I know you were.
You and I, I was just gonna say, as soon as she's done, I'm gonna go there. But
Yeah.
you did. I stuck.
Do you have somebody
so
that
true.
you can talk to, that you can say, hey, this is happening? Drew, do you have somebody that you can say, look, I'm totally whacked out of my head right now. Can you talk me down off the ledge? I know that doesn't happen to you much, but
Aw, his
Your best
bestie.
friend.
I love that.
yes,
I love
30
that
years.
kid.
As I said, like Joyce and I have marched through everything together. I have somebody, and I have a couple other friends. There's a group of us, we call it the prayer quad. And there's 4 of us where we talk, we pray, we support each other in that way. We're different political people, we're different faiths, we're different ages, but the common ground is that friendship. And if you have somebody there that can hear you and say, I love you in spite of yourself, in spite of what you think right now, I know the truth of you. And both Michelle and I are practitioners in religious science. That's what a practitioner is for, right? I hold the truth for you when you can't. I know the divine of you when you can't.
And you don't have to have studied that
Nope.
and have the certification to do that for anybody. You can, all of us are practitioners. We can all do that for somebody. I know Anna just did that for me yesterday. We just held a space while I was, concerned about something, while I was working on getting my mind back right.
Mm-hmm.
And I could recognize for myself, but even having someone else align and help hold it, there's a lot of comfort there while you're trying to keep your mind right. And I've had tons of study, and it's still a natural paradigm in me or programming in me that will shift to a certain way, and I have to work really hard to shift it back. It takes a
You're
lot
still
of
human?
effort. I still am having a human
Right.
experience, yeah.
Still having the human
But it takes a lot of
experience.
work for me to pull. I have to go through all my things and I have to check my feelings. Like I can be heady all you want, but if my feelings are still buzzing around in the wrong space, that doesn't matter. I got to check these feelings, and I have to work to get them back into the place of like, if we're good.
And
we're
that's
going to move from here and
that's
we're
the
good
goal.
and get into the peace and the
Right.
confidence, and that's inside. But it certainly helps to have someone on the outside holding that. So if you don't have that right now, like if you're literally like, yeah, I don't know anybody, that's your work. That's your work right now.
find that person.
Find that
Yes.
person or that tribe, but you need that.
I'm
That's-
so blessed in that regard.
Yeah, that's that part of resilience. We did a whole month on resilience,
Mhm.
but that's the part of resilience that you're not born with resilience. You build it. You build it ahead of time. You build it before you need it. You don't go get it when you're in the middle of things. You build it now before you're in the middle of things.
So when the middle of the things comes,
It's there.
you're capable.
Right. You build those friendships. You ask for things you need when they're little so that you're comfortable to ask for things when they're big. You do those things now, and because we are having a human experience and stuff happens, and you want to have those things already in place. that
So
you
for
can-
those of you who didn't raise your hand or say, I don't have that person, tell me this. Do you have the person that backs up your BS?
Oh.
The belief system that says I'm not worthy,
Oh.
that I'm not good enough? Do you have that person that when you call them, they say things like, really? You think you can do that? Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Tell them I said so.
That's
I'm
a-
sorry.
That's a red door from Jeannie.
Reverend Jeannie said out the door. Like,
Really.
you don't need those people in your
No,
life.
you don't need that.
No.
Or, I mean, sometimes you can't get rid of certain people, but you don't need to tell them.
Because you're related?
Yeah. But you don't need to tell them your business.
Yeah.
Like they don't need to even know what you're working on, what you're going for. Just the people that align with you that are helping you. Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't tell you when you're gonna hurt, when you do something harmful, or when like
Call you out.
like it's
Right.
okay to call people out. Like it's okay for there's a difference there. But someone who just like slams your dreams, doesn't believe in you, is constantly putting you down, or what? Like no.
Right.
We don't even need that. Our energy shouldn't be there. Yeah, we don't need that.
Because you
We have
lose
enough
the-
issue with the news and with
Right.
we have enough issue with that.
We have enough on that. We got.
I have another example which kind of was life-changing for me, and that was when my best friend Lindsay was dying and she had to go into hospice, and I was the only one willing to even deal with it. And I called Barb, and Barb was a hospice nurse, and I said, I don't think I can do this. I was on my own in Boston with nobody around me that I felt comfortable with to relate to, and Barb walked me through it and said, you can do this. And thank God, because I don't know if I could have done it without her.
Aw.
And to this day, it was the most blessing thing that I can even imagine, because I felt like it changed my life being there for somebody who was passing away, and now I could do it again if I had to.
Oh, beautiful.
And because you've experienced that, we all know that we can call you too.
Right.
Like that, we could call Barb, we could call you, right? That you've had, that's the other thing. When people talk about the experiences we're not thrilled of, once you've gone through the other side, you are now capable
You're equipped.
of helping
You are.
that next person through it, right? You'd be,
Right.
you know, like cancer for me was one of those things. So now when there's a woman who is newly diagnosed with breast cancer, people say, you know what, my friend Jeannie,
Yeah.
you know, and
That's right.
I'll get calls and
you-
texts and that kind of thing.
Right, you become equipped with that skill immediately. Like, you wonder why is this happening to me? Oftentimes that's why it's happening to you. Because you're gonna be needed. And it's, the only way you can get that skill is by going through it yourself.
And there's that connection.
And it's hard, it sucks. I mean, none of us wanna go through bad stuff, but if we're gonna be having this human experience, it's much better to go through it with somebody that can be there for you, and especially if they understand or already done it their way, or already gone through it. You can say, oh, so there's a way that could be done, then that means I can do it too. And they will walk beside you.
And that's why 12-step works, right? The 12-step program is all about somebody who's gone a little bit before you,
Right.
helping you get there. And so it's not about the experience as in book knowledge and stuff like you were saying. It's about the life experience. Look, I've held space here. I've walked this road, and I
I'm
had
still
a
here.
person. Right, I'm still here. I'm on the other side,
Yes.
and I had somebody hold my hand for this.
Yeah.
Somebody held my hand, held my heart, held my head as I was going through this experience. Let me be there for you.
Right.
You know.
And even in business, so like even in my business, I call myself a business best friend in my consulting work, but even in business, I told somebody just the other day who has a heart for helping others in what they do, and they said, yeah, but they were like talking like, yeah, but I need to get up to this level. I said, no, there's always somebody 2 steps behind you. There's always, no matter what level you're at, there's always somebody who's just a step behind you. You can help at any level that you're at. It doesn't matter what level that you're at, you can help. There's always somebody. And I feel like, and there's always somebody who is 2 steps ahead of you that could help you. So it's just, I think it's a beautiful way, that part is beautiful, how that's set up to help each other. But we have to kind of get ahead of it.
Right, and exactly, and we have to want to be part of it.
I don't know, I mean.
I don't know how you could not want to be part of it, but there are
It just
people that
feels
don't,
so
sometimes
good.
don't
I
want
know.
to be.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to be part
Someone's
of
calling.
a tribe
Yeah.
or an extended
What?
group of people, or they think it's too much, and
They haven't been in the right track then.
That's
Yeah.
right.
that's what I'm thinking,
mean,
right?
That's what I feel like. I feel like sometimes people get into tribes based on this version of themselves that they think they should be to attract this tribe. Well, it's like that's not your tribe then.
Right.
If you're not being authentic, you're not being your authentic self and really showing exactly how it is, and those probably aren't really your people, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable. It's not gonna feel great. It's not gonna actually do
Right.
what you need it to. But when you can be with a group of people and you can just be exactly you, oh my gosh.
Yes, authenticity, absolutely.
And you might
is
turn
the-
some people off. Some people
Sure,
might not
run
want to
away.
be around, but that's fine because that's not it. But when those people that stay, like, oh, there's nothing like it.
Well, and if I'm not being authentic and I'm representing, values or ideas or philosophies that aren't mine because I'm trying to impress somebody, I'm going to draw that level of falseness to me. I'm going to, or people are going to resonate with my not values as opposed to coming from the place of what my values are and drawing people to me that resonate with my
Right.
real values.
Yeah, and I think that I know there's a lot of people, especially young people, who live in that way. And it's because it's pretty scary. It feels scary to just be exactly me, to just show up as exactly who I am. Because what if you don't like me? What if you don't like that? What if you put me down? But at the same time, if I could teach this guy anything, it's like the more that you are exactly you, like his friend Lincoln, I'm telling you, they are exactly who they are in front of each other. They figured that out very young, these two, right? You and Lincoln, like just exactly, True just is exactly this guy. And Lincoln just loves him like how he is and vice versa. Oh my gosh, this friendship is amazing. And I would just want him to have only that experience, right? And he'll continue to have that as long as he can be really who he is. But I think it's a struggle there. It's a struggle. That's why it's got to begin within.
Right.
You have to start inside.
You have to start inside and know you have to be your friend first, right? It's like,
And be
How-
okay with what
you have
who you are.
oh yes.
To
And
put it out
anybody
there,
ever been too
That's
much
a good point.
or not
Or
enough?
not enough.
You can. I'm too much and not enough, all at the
Yeah,
same
that's
time.
a good time right there.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
You know, that's the thing. And that, being able to be that and know that about myself and be loved and accepted for that really shakes off the too much, not enough for me. Because then it's like, oh, that's Jeannie. Like I can say, oh, that's Jeannie, you know, and I love Jeannie. You know, and watching young people come up and get that experience as themselves, and you know, your children are a great example of that. They are who they are, you know.
They really are.
And my friend
My
Karen,
twins especially.
we just had her girls, and they're a junior and senior in high school right now, and you know, remember that time period? That like. But they are who they are, you know. And Miss Haley, she is who she is, and you know, being that authentic self at such a young age. I wish I had had it. I didn't.
Oh, I know, neither did
Yeah,
I.
I didn't either.
You know, that wasn't my life experience, and I think maybe that is why the generation that is now coming up experiences that, because we say, "Look, we did it this way and it didn't work." So
It's miserable, yeah.
don't.
Although I would say that
Yeah.
I feel like Trey didn't always live in the like around his friends in high school. I think he tries, and he still I see a little bit of it. I see him coming out of that and being who he is and being able to say who he is. He's not the kind of person who could get to do things like drugs and stuff like that. So I'm not worried about that. But I know that he worries about the way his hair is and the way he's like all these things have to be a certain way to be acceptable in this
High
group,
school.
right? It's very difficult. I don't see the same thing with True and Lyric. I really see like those of you who know Lyric, you can see her 100%, right? Like she's exactly Lyric. She's not playing around. This is who she is. She likes like this is. I mean, she is
But they're
vocal about
13.
it. Yeah.
When they turn 14, let's have the same. Let's make
Right?
sure we're
I'm
still
worried
the
about.
same.
I know, but
It's
True
that
even-
freshman year of high school
Right.
where the world
No, I don't
goes.
know. I still feel like Lyric's ahead of the game for a female. She's very strong in her in who she is. She'll say, "Well, if I'm weird, I like being weird." I'm like, "Oh,
There you
why?
go.
Just keep that."
Gee, we'll be actually 14 in our 8th grade year. 15.
Yeah, they'll be 14 in their 8th grade year. he said.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Yeah, we're
they're
turning
a
14
year
this year.
older than most kids.
When's your birthday?
September
September.
25th.
I should know this. I used to make their cakes.
I know.
7 days after
Is it
Mom's
exactly a
birthday.
week after yours?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Because that's what happened. Is I went out for my birthday, huh?
Mine's the 19th.
Oh, there you go.
There we
I went
go.
out for my birthday, pregnant, and I ate spicy calamari, and then literally that next day I started having contractions like crazy.
Spicy
then-
calamari.
It was so good.
Here we thought it was eggplant that did it. Oh,
No,
okay.
no, spicy calamari.
That's
And
the
then
one.
the next week, tried to keep them in. They weren't staying.
They were
out.
trying to like, I'm
We're
out.
out.
Peace out.
Hot in here. We're out. Yeah. No, but that's I feel like I see in the twins, but they're totally different, obviously, per people. Like I see in the twins more comfortability in who they are, and not needing to please. They've also got a really cool set of friends that really are all kind of like that. So I don't know if this is this grouping of kids that are coming here, whereas Trey's 4 years older, and that group still feels like there's a lot of trying to fit in, and he wants to be in a
High
certain
school.
group, and he wants to be with this. He
We
was
got
doing that before.
we got one in the back too.
That's his
No,
job.
we like it. We like
Yeah.
it.
I will say it does have a lot to do with social media as well. It's definitely a blessing and a curse. Like I know for my generation, like you guys have mentioned, like, you know, we're always like trying to be the best of the best, trying to look the best, especially when we're out, things like that. When it comes to Instagram, everything's like an Instagram photo op, you know what I'm talking about? But
Yeah.
for the younger generation, they've had a lot of access to social media, and I think a lot of people on TikTok especially have been coming out and expressing how they feel, and when they see that constantly, then they feel more, you know, I don't know, they feel like they can be themselves more often, which is really
That's a
interesting.
really
That makes a good point.
Like I said, a blessing and a curse for sure, because you know there's two sides of
Depending on
social
which
media.
side watching, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So and that's really good. I think that's really interesting, honestly.
I like that. That's,
Yes.
I'm sure someone's studying it or is going to study it. Carolyn.
Yeah, I'm in an unusual place right now. I'm in an unusual place right now from the standpoint that I am more out there and networked and whatever because of the business that I'm in. And I'm attracting a lot of people that have expectations of me because just of my presence. And I'm struggling a little to meet those expectations of the people that I'm encountering just because I'm out there.
Oh.
So I'm wondering how to stay present to meet the expectations of people I'm encountering just because I'm more out and about than I've ever been before. So I don't know whether it's confidence or what it is that has put me in that place, but it's an experience I haven't had before, and I'm wondering how you meet that encounter with other people who see something in you that you may not see in yourself.
Do you have an example?
I have a new client who essentially when I meet with new people, I am very present and I can see things in their business and their setting and their market and in what they're doing that in the moment I can speak to just because it kind of is like downloaded from spirit.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then I find myself interacting with those people going forward, and it's like, where did that information come from? and how do I continue on with that vision practice for them that spirit just gave me the opportunity to express in the moment that I was in. And it's not that I don't have a ton of tools. I have tools, I have experience, I have lots of things. But when spirit has given me the opportunity to express that and attract people to it, then how do I go forward?
So how are you maintaining it?
Yeah.
How do you keep it going?
Keep being open to spirit.
I was gonna say, if spirits brought you to it, take you through it, you know.
Right, I think what just sounds like, I don't know for sure, but not you, but I mean, I feel like when those things happen, you might be flipping out of that present space and into thinking like you're thinking, how do I keep this going? Oh my God, where'd that come from? It is you. You are that. It might be a download, but that is you. You have all that. That's already is there and it's you. So to come back to like the knowing and the trusting that I am going to know what to say next time. I am going to know what the next moves are because I'm going to stay present. And from here, what's the next move?
And you know,
Give her the mic, baby.
when I go into a space of planning, it's like, okay, I have to plan what our next encounter is because we have a meeting coming up.
Yeah.
It's like spirit isn't in that process.
Yeah.
Spirit isn't in the planning and the outlines and the materials, and so I think what I need to do is bring in to, instead of like thinking of it as a planning session, I should be thinking of it as a quiet moment to allow spirit to come through to me.
I agree. Yeah. And that's, I think you can plan. I don't think there's anything wrong. Carol and I do very similar work. So it's like, I agree with the planning. Like I don't not plan. But at the same time, I leave a lot of flexibility. Like if I'm in the middle of talking to the person and I'm getting more of that download stuff, I'm going with that above whatever I planned, for sure. Because once I align with them and you know that when you get in that connected space with a client and you feel like you're connected and now you're just flow, it's coming out easily. That's like, oh, I love that. it may not be anything I wrote down that I thought I was going to do in that session. And I may follow them around and follow that leading and that guiding and give them what's needed from what's coming at that moment.
So what I need is
Yeah.
more trust.
Yeah.
And more,
Yeah, do your
Aligned.
planning, have your tools, but still come in and engage from here to here and allow it to come from there. Yeah.
And Reverend Missy says, you just be present each moment and allow what it is to be what it is. And sometimes it's okay not to know what is coming up. Spirit is always there in the planning because you are there. Just plan for it to be a listening session, not to be a doing session. Just plan to listen. Thank you, Reverend Missy.
Thank you, Reverend Missy. Yeah,
For
exactly.
those of you who don't know, Reverend Dr. Missy is our mentor and facilitator.
Spiritual guide too. I mean, all
Right.
these we're both working on. I'm working on my ministerial, my doctorate, and you're working on.
My
you already have your
master,
ministerial, so-
yes, and I'm finishing up my
and then your
master's.
doctorate.
Yes.
But she guides us spiritually too, and a lot of
Yes.
thinkings and stuff too. it's
So,
very cool.
and she is also a Spiritual Church Club partner.
she is.
So,
And
yeah,
we read from her a lot because she's in this book. a
she's
lot.
in the,
Right.
yes.
So
she's amazing.
what she says is
Yes.
goes.
What she said. We'll
But I
back
hope
that
that
up.
helps. But that's it does because you feel like they expect something. I totally get what you're saying. You feel like, oh, I've already showed up this way, and they're going to expect me to keep this level coming and this whatever, but it's already there.
And
You
I
have it.
so get that because there are time periods
Like,
people
oh.
are like, look at me because I
Yeah,
because I
they're staring
cursed
at
or
you.
something, and they look at me and I'll be all like, I'm not that kind of minister. You know, sorry to disappoint. Yeah, but there, when there is that expectation.
Or you feel like there is.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say it's not like somebody walks up to you and say, "I expect you."
Mhm.
You get this. You get the feeling of an expectation. So in that's a projection, right? Because we don't know.
You're leaving the present moment.
Right. You're leaving the
And I
present.
just
You're
have
making
a
up
new
the
client, too,
story.
that I've already been like, my head tries to do that. It's like, no, you know everything you need to know. Don't worry about it. You know everything that's needed for this person.
Exactly.
You're fine. And but I'm making my plan. I'm going through my own, what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm trusting that I already have exactly what it takes to help this person.
Now she wouldn't be there.
And because
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I know you love it. And all of you that work like that love it. So you just then let yourself stay present and stay in that peaceful place of knowing that I'm going to know what plan to make. I'm going to know what things to write out. I'm going to know. And I'm going to also know that in that moment, if Spirit goes, throw all that over here because they decided to go over here, and you're going to do that too. Just
Right.
follow the
Excited
leadings.
about not knowing.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes that's fun too.
Exactly.
It's like opening a present on Christmas morning.
Oh,
What is it?
what is it?
What is it going to
Spirit?
be?
Well, and it's like, I've had that experience too. As an HR strategist, it's like, people expect that you have this certain level of knowledge, and I can't possibly know everything.
Or that you're going to solve every
And
issue.
right, exactly. And so it's come to a point where it's fine. I mean, I have no problem saying, well, I don't know, but I'll have to research that. But the last time I had any contact with that situation, this was what the law was, but it might have changed. And just getting to the point where not being afraid to say, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll find out for you.
Right.
Nice.
Being afraid that, if they think I don't know something, they're gonna think I'm not competent, and then they're not gonna hire me.
Right. And that again, it's not being authentic, right? It's like being able to be authentic and saying, you know what, that's a really good point. I like what you're talking about. I want to get some research done. I'll bring it back to you.
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah. That's always a good awareness too. Yeah. Trying to be as authentic as possible.
I feel like somebody wants to say something.
Who could it be? I love all the smiles. Oh, you are all smiling at me. Smiling. Oh my gosh.
I know. We're there.
But I really feel like, so this is our topics. I love our topics because sometimes we just go all over the place here and we come back. But this is what we're saying.
Welcome to Spiritual Church Club ADD.
I know. But even in what Carolyn and what we were just talking about, like, no, if you don't have God, you're not going to have that peace. When you connect and you trust that it's God, that God is what's moving in as is through you.
Right. And we use that because,
And
well,
you
it's
will have
shorter and it
peace.
fits on the card.
Yes.
But you claim God as what you need God to be, whether that is a higher power or a higher self or the universe, the presence. I like
Whatever you want to
divine.
call it.
What?
I like
Yeah.
First Cause. That's my favorite.
Right. It's an easier concept to understand the connectivity and the unity.
Yeah.
And God works because we've used that word for so long. But if that does not work for you, please pick one that does. The whole point of religious science philosophy is that it would work with any religion. So I just want to continue to keep that in mind, that this is not about a dogma.
Right.
This is about
Right.
This is about,
You could be
creating a
any
life
faith,
you
and
love.
we could be talking.
Right.
Yeah. This is not about a particular faith. Nothing. No. And I would say too, like what's coming to me is with talking about no God, no peace. I remember an experience where I had to get out of a lease agreement with somebody, and I was not at peace about it. I was tortured about it. I remember taking in the shower one time, like just started crying. I was just so sick about it because I thought it was going to go badly and it was going to be this whole thing. And financially, I was having a big struggle. This was years ago. All this stuff was happening. And then I had like, what am I doing? I should pray about it. I'm a religious scientist. What am I doing? And I prayed about it, and I spiritually mind treated for myself and that landlord. And then I remember feeling a sense of peace, but okay, all right, let's think about what we need to do here. So then I was suddenly, when you're peaceful, where are you at? You're present, right?
Present.
And I was suddenly able to then think from what's actually happening, Michelle, is you need to get out of this lease. You can no longer afford to pay and be in this space. But this person, there's two sides of this coin, right? Here's my side. What's this person want? What's this person need? How is it going to be fair? I don't want to screw anybody over, but how can I? And I just got in this great space because I had an appointment to call him at a certain time. So you know how you lead up to that call, you're like just sick.
Yeah.
And so, but that prayer, thank God I remembered to pray, and then I went into that in a calm, peaceful state of it's going to be what it is. We are both children of God. We're both manifestations of the one. We're both that same thing. So, but we're on two different sides of the same coin. So this is an experience we're both having. And I will tell you, it was so beautiful. The talk, he up until this point was a total jerk, like not a nice person. So this is what I thought I was going to get. We get on the call. He starts with the not a nice person behavior and attitude. And I said, and then when he would say, well, but you're losing, I said, I understand that. And at the same time, I cannot pay it. I'm trying to explain this to you. How can I help get out of this so that you feel honored and I feel like, what can I do? I do? So I was talking like that, and he just kept coming back with his broken record. And at one point, he just was like, fine, okay, we'll just do X, Y, Z. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, it's fine. At the end of the month, just fine. Just like, he was so frustrated, like, it's fine, just fine. I'm going to be a good guy, I guess, fine. Like, it was so funny.
Or if I have to.
And I said, thank you. I said, thank you so much. I can't even tell you how many. He goes, it's okay. Okay, fine. He's like, just call the girls, tell her what I said. It's just, and I hung up the phone going, what just happened? Like, this guy is not that guy normally. But I held the space. I had done my prayer work. I held the space. I was authentic. I was present. I didn't let myself get terrified or do anything. And it allowed him to move.
You were the mirror for him. He had to shift.
It allowed, and we've always said that. It doesn't take two people to change a relationship. It only takes one. You only need one person to hold it down. Stay present, stay connected, and that person will flounder around, but eventually they're going to come because that's what you're doing. Sometimes that's the only chance they have of getting there, is that you are the one that can do it.
There you go.
So it was a beautiful experience, but it wasn't. Once I connected back with Source, it was peaceful, even though that had been terrifying before.
Right.
It was
I
cool.
like that story.
Yeah, and he
Thanks
was
for sharing
such
that.
He was so great. He turned out. I really have good memories of him now.
There you
I don't
go.
have negative thoughts of him at all. It was sweet. So I don't know. Any comments from the gallery?
And anything else? I know we just got our little English accent on, so I don't know why. She's the one married to the English guy. I don't know.
It comes out, I don't know.
Comes out. Anything else?
Anything else, literally?
We feeling? Are we feeling complete?
How can you support us?
You don't be stealing Aunt's line.
Well, we have to pray out
We have to
first.
pray out first. So, then
I love
But-
you, True.
I
True,
love how you
David.
support us.
Come here, real quick.
Yes, come here. Come here.
Yes, come here.
Get
I want
over
them
here.
to see
Come
you.
on.
He's so handsome. Please, just real quick.
Please,
Just
listen real quick.
Oh,
There's.
Stop it.
Oh, okay,
Stop it.
fine. Okay,
I
fine.
just want you all to see him.
He's so handsome, but that's okay.
All right.
That's okay. We won't make you go online today.
Don't make me separate you two.
Oh, we're so them people, aren't we?
I know, I'm that kind of mom too.
Right. You're like, come here, look at how cute my kids are.
I'm usually torturous.
All right.
Okay.
You're praying us out,
Oh, I
lady.
don't know. I feel so giddy.
Oh, okay, suck it up.
Okay, go ahead. We're gonna take a deep breath. We have to get. That feels so good. One more, please. Recognizing, coming into this moment, recognizing there's only one. There's only one power, one energy, one life, and that is God. The Spirit is the divine, is the first cause, truly all there is. It is love, laughter, connection, joy. It is peace. And each one of us, we are each that perfect, unique manifestation of the one. We are each that love, that joy. We are each that peace. As it moves in, as it through us. And from that place of knowing my truth of who I am, I speak my word into the law. Knowing that as I do, I set the law of God in motion for the highest and best. For this time together, for everyone in this room, everyone hearing my voice, and beyond. I know that as we allow ourselves to be open to the thoughts today, be open to the connection, to the love, to all the laughter, we feel peace. We know peace. We experience peace as we move throughout each moment. We recognize when we are not feeling that way and we pull ourselves back to it, back to the present moment. And in that moment, we experience God, we experience love, we experience the truth of life. And I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for our time together, that it's been beautiful, that it's divinely guided and perfect, whole and complete. So I release it and let it go. And together we say,
And so it is.
Still do
I still do this, yes. Okay, so thank you all, and
How can we support you?
thanks for asking, Ann. So you can support us many different ways. Of course, when you hear that, it's generally the financial way, and we'll tell you about that. It is beginwithinministries.com. If you can't get there, Google, it'll show you us, and follow the little sign there. You can become a spiritual church club partner. That's $45 a month or $75 for a family or couple, and that helps support us in our cards, our classes. You become a member, you get this amazing mug, which everything tastes better in.
everything.
You get a little sofa, Sunday's charm. You help provide support for us so that we can do more. And
And I like that that support supports everyone.
yes,
You know,
it supports
And
everyone
supports our
here.
growth.
Yes, and that's what we're looking to do, is build this up. Bless you. And I'm so excited that we have a full room today. Sometimes I say that and it's really not full. So I just want you to know that behind the scenes today, it really is full. Say hi.
Hello.
See?
I love it.
I love And there are other ways you can support us. Just going into our social media, we would love you, since you're watching us here on YouTube, to like and subscribe, please.
Yes.
We enjoy that so much. And
You can also join the group.
you can join our Facebook group, which you can become a member of our Facebook group. Here you become a partner. And so membership is free, partnership costs you money. I just want to give a shout out again to Touchpoint Designs, who has Pride-ized our girls, and to say happy Pride. Please like, share, subscribe, anything. Join
Instagram
us.
too. We're on
Instagram, we're also on
Instagram and
Instagram.
Facebook are both under Sofa Sundays.
Yes. And then YouTube is Begin Within Ministries Sofa Sundays.
Good thing Lyric's painting matches Pride-ized Virgin.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so
Our
in-house
resident artist, Lyric Davis, who painted that. And
Yeah,
I
a
had
whole year ago. Like she did it a while ago.
2 years.
2 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a whole very artistic critic explanation, and she said, I just thought it looked pretty.
The eyes.
So yeah, I said the eyes look like flowers and were blooming. She just said it looked pretty. So there you go.
She had no reason for
She had
making the eyes
no
like
reason
that. Yeah.
for it. So that's
Right.
us. We thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.